Tell me again. What's the side of the face?
That's where the cheeks live.
Okay, good. Hey, welcome to episode 86 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Severn.
Yo.
And Blake.
What's up?
Is this 86?
Yep.
Is that correct?
It's got to be 86.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I haven't been here for the last 2 episodes.
Yep.
Did I miss anything good?
No.
Great. Perfect.
No, we had some great guests.
Yeah.
And we talked about video games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We should do that sometime. So how's it going, guys? What's new? You guys been playing anything?
Yeah, man. Shit. I'll kick it off.
Yeah, man.
I've been twitching. Yeah, Nick, you missed out on it.
You should. There's
I've been
medicine for that.
twitching.
Oh, I dude, I saw you doing some twitching.
Yeah.
And
Can we? I'm just gonna say streaming, please.
Early onset pucks.
Oh, God.
and I was concerned when I saw you doing this twitching.
Yeah. Yep. I've got a jig.
But yeah, I saw you'd done some streaming,
Yep.
and then I started watching the stored video,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw what.
How good was that audio?
Oh man, I saw what chapter you were on,
Yep.
and so I actually skipped to the end because there's a
Thing that happened?
thing that happens at the end, and I'm like, I need to see Severn's reaction for this.
Yeah.
What game are you playing?
Man, do you want to talk about that?
Not yet. I think Nick should play that game as well.
Which game?
Life is
Damn,
Strange.
Life
Okay.
is Strange. So I realized after playing it that I'm not going to be twitching. I'm not going to be streaming other what's it, Life is Strange episodes, just because I feel like my attention needs to go there and I can't engage with viewers or anything.
That is a thing. That story starts getting real
Well, after that, I was
intense.
like, all right, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I need to take this all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because
we can definitely talk about it though after.
yeah, Nick, you got to play
Yeah.
this. For
Okay. Yeah.
You got to play it.
Sure.
but I've got another game lined up.
Okay.
Tomb Raider. So I started playing that too.
How
And
many
that's
viewers did you have?
What's that?
How many viewers did you have?
I think we had 5.
Whoa!
Those are our core
Right.
guys. Those are the core fan club.
Yeah, there were
Shout
some cool
out.
people. The van was there.
Yeah.
Shout out to the van.
We had I think some European listeners are competing for how late they would stay up to
So
watch.
weird.
we had a guy from what was his name? It started with a T.
Shout out to the letter T.
Yeah, from France, 3 a.m. You know, we had
Whoa.
that guy from Sweden last
Yep.
time. Yeah,
I think that was we figured that was Mark, right? Because he'd sent in a letter.
from Sweden.
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah.
And
By letter, do you mean email?
I mean email. I mean letter.
Send us a postcard.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there was another guy from France. Shout out.
Shout out to France,
Yo.
the whole country.
But yeah, it was good. But yeah, I just didn't feel like I was engaging with the viewers, which was unfortunate.
There are some games that are less suitable for streaming than others.
Mm.
Games where you don't have to. I think games that aren't, first of all, dialogue driven,
Mm.
and second of all, that you don't need your either constant attention or where you kind of know the game well enough that you can distract yourself.
Oh man, there was this one thing that happened during that episode where you know how you sort of spoke about how you play as sort of how you would be in the world.
Yep.
And you sort of would respond just like how you normally would. There's a dumb event that happens inside the cafe, towards the end of
Oh
that.
right, yeah.
And you have to get keys off a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh man, I was stuck on that for so long. But what happened was, I talked to the guy with the keys. I exhausted all the options I could do, and then I went over to this arsehole who was sitting in a booth, who's notoriously the prick.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy. of this game.
He's a drug dealer. Lives out of a
Oh, not that guy. The
No, not that
preppy
guy.
kid. The preppy
Oh,
kid.
okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
he's
But
the
the
villain
drug
of the
dealer is who
piece.
you're trying to get the keys off,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
So I went to him first, right?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really give you anything, so you
Yeah.
start talking to other people. So I went to the preppy guy, and then and then he said something really offensive, and I was just like, I don't even want to talk to you. So I just walked away from him
Yeah.
without even Because that's something I would have done.
Yeah. I don't want to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
He's a rich jerk.
Yeah, screw you, dude.
Yeah.
But then, like, it meant that I didn't progress because I had to.
He had a piece of
like,
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is I think a problem with adventure games where like you basically have to do all these things. You have to click on everything in the environment to get the bits of information you need to leave that environment.
Yeah.
Whereas like you if you're role playing and you're like, I see that character there, I don't want to talk to them because they're a jerk.
Yeah.
But you have to progress get out of there.
And that's unfortunate because I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like going around trying to make conversation. And at the end of it, I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to talk to this guy. And then, it's not just one option. It's like multiple choice, for a couple rounds.
Now, let me ask you: were you viewing this game world through the eyes of your character or through yourself? As in, like
a little bit of both.
Okay,
I think. I think it's hard to take yourself entirely out of it.
Yeah, I think so too. But I wonder, like, do you think that the character you were playing as would have continued that conversation inherently because she knew there was information there?
I don't know.
I feel like that if you're straight up role playing as her, I don't think she would talk to that guy because he's the known like asshole.
Yeah.
Like and
if
some
someone...
stuff happened earlier on with that guy that is like, why would you just walk up to this guy at a cafe and talk to him? Like, he's,
yeah, like it's almost like in the real world.
Yeah,
I would probably never like this guy's made out to be like your enemy. You see him do some heinous shit early on,
and
you probably wouldn't even want to like acknowledge him in the street.
Yeah,
So like the situation of you having to approach him is like it's probably something I'd never do.
Yeah,
right.
And he also seems like, to make that even worse, he also seems a little bit like mentally unstable. Like, like he can be triggered and just go off, and you're like, yeah, this makes it so that I really don't want to talk to this guy even more.
Yeah. So unless I'm just some guy who doesn't want to engage with like people with short temperaments.
Yeah. But I guess the fact that she has the rewind power means that she can talk to him without worrying about any consequences.
Yeah, I guess.
Because she can just rewind.
There is that, but you sort of don't rewind.
Well, that's... I mean, I remember that whole situation. I basically went in there, got all the information, talked to everyone. Like, after almost every conversation, I rewound to before I had, like, started the conversation. So, from this character's perspective, I never spoke to them. Yeah. But I got all the information from them.
Right. Did you... tell me, did you get the car keys found or not found ending in that episode?
Oh man, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn it, Nick, you gotta play this.
I want to.
Oh, the car keys. I don't remember the car keys.
What's her name? Is it Chloe?
Yeah.
Her dad is looking for car keys to pick up the mother.
Oh, you mean in the flashback?
Yeah, right at the end.
Oh. Yeah, I found them.
No, but did he find them? Did the father find them?
I put them somewhere where I don't think he did find them. Okay. Oh no, he used it. No, he didn't find them because you go through several things. This is so vague. You go through like several things to hide these keys. Yeah. And then the last one, he definitely doesn't find them.
Yeah. Because I was like, I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
And then it closes on this freaking cliffhanger, man.
Yeah. There was also something I noticed in that sometimes you do something, like just sometimes you can see stuff that is like, oh, this is probably going to be like some weird achievement thing. Like in that instance that you were talking about where you're basically hiding the keys from this father. There's a wall that you can sort of like draw a butterfly on, and that's like an achievement thing. But if you rewind past like drawing on it, you don't get that achievement.
Yeah, you got to redraw.
And I'd totally forgotten that was a thing. And then like when I finished the game, I was like, I wonder who else got this achievement. And it was like, I didn't get it because I rewound before. What's that?
It undid the achievement.
Yeah, I undid the achievement.
Yeah, I had the same thing too, man.
Yeah,
it sucked.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's just funny that sometimes you can accidentally erase like a thing you did,
like a metagame,
like
progress.
a metagame.
That
metagame progress.
Have you been playing much, Blake?
I'm playing No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Yep.
Why?
Dude, there was an update. It's made it.
There's always an update.
No, there isn't. This has been like this
There's
is the
always
third
something.
update. What are you
There's always
talking about?
some reason you're trying to justify that game being played.
It's pretty good now. I really like it.
Great.
I'm really enjoying it.
How long after launch?
Like
are
2
we?
years.
Okay, cool.
I like the joke is that its original launch is like you really just bought an early access game for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now this is the actual release.
Okay. And how is it?
It's fun. They've changed a lot. Like it's that like all the resources are like different now, and things are used in different ways, like to manage your like equipment and things like that. Like different resources are used for different things now. And there's heaps and heaps of like building stuff. So like very early on, you get a base. Whereas before, after that foundation update that added bases, it was like a full-on this long quest line to like slowly piece by piece get the things for your base. But this is like within an hour you've got a base, and a base is just like more like a modern survival game where you just put down you put down like a floor, and then you put down some walls, and you can have a little square.
Yeah.
And that's a base. Like it's
Right.
straight up like Minecraft now. Like you can build anywhere, which is really cool. Like before, for some reason, they only had designated like
Building spots.
But now you can just build anywhere, and you can have multiple bases on the same planet, and you can have just multiple bases all over the place.
So you're saying it's now up to the levels of Minecraft almost 10 years ago.
Yep.
That's good. Good job.
I really like it, and they've got multiplayer. I had
Like Minecraft.
yeah.
That's cool.
I had a cool my first experience with an actual player was I was standing on a planet looking out over this vista, looking through my binoculars for points of interest, and I heard like what sounded like a ship land behind me, and I was like, that's weird, like NPC ships don't land. What the hell is that? And I turned around, and there's this huge ship right behind me, and a guy standing there waving. And I'm like, whoa, this is great. This is a real person. And then we just like jumped around.
Can you interact with them?
Well, that's the thing. I thought you could only gesture, like, because there's a gesture menu, like waving is one, pointing, and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, because like a lot of the best sort of like interactions, I think, in multiplayer games are when you don't let the players talk.
Yep.
Like Journey, for example, right? Everyone really loved
Just
the drop in, drop out aspect of it. And this is what No Man's Sky has. Like, if you get close enough to where another player is, you'll just drop into their game or stuff. And you can purposely join someone's game, but I think it's more drop in, drop out. That seemed to be what it was.
Okay.
But yeah, and I thought like, oh, that's cool. We've just got gestures. This is great. I don't have to hear some stupid asshole like
talking. In your ear.
Yeah. And then somebody else joined flew into the system, and their mic was on, and I could just hear the entire room that this guy was like living in, and I was like, oh no, this is not good.
Can you mute the guy?
I went into the thing and found out you can just boot him from your game.
No mute.
You can't mute.
Sky.
I don't. You can probably mute, but like, I'm just like, boot him. I'm not. You know.
Jeez, man.
Get out
All
of here.
right.
And then later on, I saw other people, and you can like you have like text chat as well.
So okay.
So
you can communicate, but can you interact? Is my question. Can
you shoot?
trade?
Can you shoot someone?
Yeah, sure. Can you fight?
I haven't tried it.
Can you, like, I don't know, build a wall around them? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay.
Like,
because it's like they had you can see the glowing ball of another player.
Yeah.
Thing. They introduced that like what, a year ago?
Yep.
And like, what's the point? What's the point of seeing that there's another player there that you?
I don't know. They can wave at you, and then you're like, wow, another human being.
Oh my god, you're right. They've changed my mind. That sounds amazing.
I don't know, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm back on board. Like, I've started again. Like, because what was funny is that the game has changed so much that when I loaded up an old save, I've got access to all this new stuff, and like resources are called different things now. There's like it's just quite different, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing because I'd technically skipped over the phase where I get tutorials.
Yeah.
So I just had to start again, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
That's good.
yeah. I don't know, because like I've
Genuinely, it is
I've-
good that you're finally enjoying the game that you bought.
that's 2 years later. It's great. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what else to say, because like I've talked about this game so much. Everyone knows what it is. It's just like it's more of what it was promised to be.
That's good.
2 years ago.
And it's actually, I mean, like I rag on it
Yeah.
because it's fun to rag on, but I'm really pleased that they're still supporting it and trying to get it to what they had promised.
That is what's amazing, that they really have supported it, like with free updates for so long.
Well, I think a lot of this is also in prep for the or was in the lead up to the PlayStation 4 launch.
Yeah, probably.
Or Xbox 360. When it was
it
out on one console but not the
yeah,
other.
it came out with the update on PlayStation 4 at the same time. Yeah.
And so I think, ahead of that they wanted to get it into shape where players would actually have fun and not be like, why did I buy this?
Yeah. Last time I checked on Steam, it was up to mixed reviews.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
saw
that's a hell of an achievement, I think. They were overwhelmingly negative 2 years ago. Like, I've never seen a game that was overwhelmingly negative. I didn't even know that there was a rating called overwhelmingly negative.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it was that bad when it launched.
It wasn't. It was the hopes
just-
and dreams of so many
You promise
people.
You promise the world and you
Yeah.
deliver
Yeah.
like a street,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you done dogfighting and stuff, the space battles?
Yeah, but I
Little-
haven't, not against like other players, so I don't know what that would be like.
Okay. And it feels good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, dude, it's still No Man's Sky. You're still doing the same stuff. It's just like there's a little bit more to do now. Though, it's like the base building stuff I've been finding like actually really quite fun. Because before the base building was very modular, so you just had like place down this like room, and then have some corridors that go off. It place down another room. This is just like straight up survival type building where you're building a floor, building walls, building stairs, all this stuff like individual pieces.
Yeah.
And you can do cool stuff.
Okay. And are the animals all wanting to kill you?
No, not always.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. I landed on a planet that was like where I set up my base was like the most perfect planet I've ever found. And there's werewolves on it too. There's these guys that look like
Guys.
well, I call them guys, but they're probably, I don't know what they are. They could, but yeah, they're like upright wolves that look like werewolves.
Okay.
They're
Sure.
like, yeah, they're like walking around like werewolves. Now, what was also
So
funny
you
is
found
that,
the Thriller planet.
yeah, I found the Thrill Planet. But then what was also kind of fun was that I noticed that planet where I started had already been discovered by another player 2 years ago.
Of course.
And I was like, oh man, people like, I don't know, it just was, I don't know, I thought that was neat.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I've been playing a bunch of mobile games as usual.
Hmm.
In particular, so I came, first of all, for our listeners, got back from a honeymoon. It was real fun. Cambodia's neat. Baby monkeys are adorable. Feeding elephants is interesting and terrifying, but also kind of amazing.
Do you have a story about feeding elephants?
I fed them.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Peanuts?
That's some story.
Oh.
Yes, I did feed them peanuts actually
Really?
at one point.
Sorry, I heard offend them.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
Yes.
Offend them.
If you flip off an elephant,
It
they love
remembers.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's pretty funny. They the way you're meant to feed, at least the way you're meant to feed this particular elephant peanuts was you say up and like you tap on its trunk and it lifts its trunk up and opens up its mouth, and then you have to like rub its tongue
Ooh.
a certain way, and it will make a sort of cup out of its tongue, like a cup shape, and then you put the peanuts in,
What?
and then it munches.
They
them
didn't
down.
use their trunk? They didn't like take it out of their trunk and into
Oh,
their
you could
mouth?
totally make them use their trunk.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
But
it's funny that you're like, you
do
can
it.
make them.
yeah, you can, because if you don't put it in their mouth, they have to use their trunk,
Oh, yeah.
right? Then because it's not like anything else moves
Yeah.
that well. But their trunks are so strong as
Yeah.
well.
Whoa.
Holy smokes! It's just like all muscle.
Yep.
But while I was on my honeymoon, I played Pokemon Quest. Have you guys heard of Pokemon Quest?
No.
Okay, so it's a Pokemon action RPG. Basically, you have a squad of up to 3 Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
and you choose a level basically, and there's packs of enemy Pokemon that you roam around and kill basically, and they drop loot, and there's recipes, and the loot has mods on it, and there's like a very simple gear system. They've got a very simple version of our skill gem system.
Is this a mobile game?
It's a mobile game, and it's also on Switch,
Huh.
but I played it on mobile, and it's pretty good. It's also frustrating in a lot of ways and
Yeah.
kind of dumb in a lot of ways.
Was it a recent release?
It came out maybe a little under 2 months ago on mobile,
Okay.
maybe like 4 months ago on Switch, I think.
Okay.
It's free to play.
Are there any humans that exist in the world, or it's just you and
Yeah,
Pokemon?
you're a human, but
Oh.
you never actually see yourself.
What?
You never see yourself. It's all, there's no humans in the actual gameplay.
Mm.
It's just your Pokemon squad roaming around and killing other Pokemon, inexplicably, mind you.
There's no Team
Huh.
Rocket.
No Team Rocket.
Hmm.
There is a mysterious force on the island,
Oh.
though.
It's Pokemon.
Huh?
It's probably a Pokemon.
Spoiler: it is Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's one Pokemon in particular.
Yep. Of course it is.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
Always.
all it ever is.
Yeah. So I played a lot of that. It was interesting just because like I haven't played that many mobile action RPGs, but this was one, and it was using Pokemon. Pokemon doubled both as your character and as the loot,
Yeah. Weird.
which I thought was quite interesting.
Huh.
Uh,
Do you get to pick a lineup of like starting Pokemon or anything?
you're offered one of 5:
Oh, okay. One of
Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, and can you guess the 5th? I'm curious.
5. Poplio.
No, not Poplio. I don't know what Poplio is. Is that
You're not a real Pokemon master then.
is that Gen? Is it the otter looking one?
It's one that looks like a seal with a big red nose.
Okay, yeah. I
And he's
think
got
I
a big
know.
frilly thing around his neck.
Yeah, I remember him.
Poplio.
Severn, can you guess?
No.
I'll give you a clue. It's Gen 1. It's all the Pokemon in this game
Okay.
were Gen 1.
All right.
It's the Psyduck?
It wasn't Psyduck.
Okay.
I'll just tell you. It's Eevee.
Okay.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
150 guesses and I wouldn't have even guessed it. So, yeah, played a lot of that.
Yep.
Pretty fun, but like I said, also frustrating in a lot of ways. But it was an interesting, working on an action RPG.
Yep.
Seeing how what their take on the genre was, especially for mobile.
And it's from the Pokemon Company?
I don't know if it is from the Pokemon Company. But that's really just like a holding company. I
Yeah.
think, right. They don't do much
Because
other
they
than-
didn't make Pokemon Go either. They
licensed it to Niantic.
Yeah.
So I assume it just
These guys are loose, man, with that Pokemon license.
yeah. Do you not remember the mid to late 90s?
Pokemon Snap.
Just like
Oh, shit.
hey, Pokemon Snap was actually a really good game.
That was
I
the weirdest.
loved
I thought that was the
game.
weirdest one.
It was so
It was
good.
based on a dude from one episode in
I
the original Pokemon.
I don't think it was based on him. I think they
that
put
was him. That was his thing. He was a photographer, and he didn't.
Yeah, but I think they put him in the show after Pokemon Snap, didn't they?
I saw it the other way around, but that
Okay.
could just be me.
I may be wrong, but the Pokemon Snap was actually super fun. I love that game.
Guys,
Yeah.
Don't you dare badmouth Pokemon Snap,
Oh, shit.
you son of a bitch, Blake, you son of a bitch. No, yeah, Pokemon Snap rules. They should make a sequel to that for mobile. Oh man, how good would Pokemon Go would have been so much better if it was Pokemon Go Snap,
Go Snap.
where you
what
like
if you had the option?
throw an apple at the
I mean, you
Pokemon.
can take a screenshot of your phone.
Yeah, there's a camera mode on there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
totally a
dude,
feature.
people were totally doing
Yeah.
that. Like, I remember seeing so many screenshots of where random places Pokemon showed up in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have that game should have been probably is all about taking photos
Yeah.
of Pokemon. That would have been a much better game.
Yeah. Actually, that kind of would have been better with that augmented reality.
Yeah.
'cause
And it wouldn't have been like
'Cause
dumb, frustrating, like
because it was actually better to play with the augmented reality turned off.
yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't have to line anything up. It was just on your phone, so you could just, here's one, boom.
Yeah, you
and
don't
then-
have to like spin around.
Yeah, you don't
while
have
you're trying
to look like a lunatic.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's what I was playing.
Are you excited for that Pokemon? Those 2 new Pokemon games for Switch that are coming out later this year. Like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I think they're called.
I will try them. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm excited for them,
Okay.
but I'll try them. I mean, they're free to play, aren't they?
I think they're actual proper games.
Are you sure about that?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I don't
I-
know. That Nintendo conference was confusing. The only thing I remember really was like Reggie by a fireplace, and then
God, I love Reggie.
yep, and then like 4 hours of Smash Bros.
Ah, yeah, there was a lot of Smash Bros.
Yep.
I'm more excited for Smash Bros. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
You guys fan of Smash Bros?
Nah.
What?
I never got into it. I never did.
I like the idea of it.
What's wrong
I
with
like
you two?
I like Killer Instinct.
Oh,
That was my fighting game.
what? Clay Fighter 63 and a third. Ugh. Get up, play a real game, Blake. Play a real game.
Like Pokemon Go.
Yeah. No, like Smash Brothers. Smash Bros is fantastic. One of the best fighting games ever.
I'm playing another game.
Yeah.
It's a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I've heard of that. Is that medieval warfare?
It's not. It's medieval RPG.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's actually kind of cool, weirdly refreshing, is that it's a medieval RPG that's not a medieval fantasy.
Right.
Like, I'm not walking through the woods being like, oh, I wonder if there's goblins here. It's like, no, I wonder if there's like bandits and actual
Yeah, it's
like
trying to
human
be
beings.
accurate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's its whole thing, is like trying to be like as accurate as it can, and it's got like this whole like index of like you're dealing with actual historical characters, and so like you can, when you like first meet them, it'll come up and be like there's a like codex of this character, and if you want to check it out in the menu, and you do, and it's like their actual like history of like stuff they've done.
That's, yeah. Okay.
Like I just thought that it was like really it's really cool because you're dealing with like real actual people from the past.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's quite fun. It's got this really tough combat system where you've like it's trying its best to simulate real like sword fighting and having to like watch your opponent where the position of their sword is, and then you have to like block at a certain time and like execute like combos at a certain time.
Sure.
And then also like you've got this like radius thing of like the where they're actually holding their sword, so you can like fake them out on one side and then quickly switch to another when you go to strike. And at first, like, you're just getting hit over and over and over because you like a normal player is just used to a Skyrim thing where it's like you hit it, you press a button, and your guy swings, and that's it. But this is like you gotta really watch what your opponent is doing.
That's cool.
And it's the kind of thing where like if you're fighting one person, that's tough enough. If there's a second person, it's like I might not make it out of this. And if I was having this fight where there was a guy with a bow and arrow, and what I ended up doing was sort of like angling myself so that the guy I was fighting was in front of the guy with the bow and arrow, and the guy with the bow and arrow wouldn't shoot and kept trying to like move. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. So you're like dealing with like, you know, your surroundings, and you really got to watch like
actually using like lines of sight.
Instead of just, you know, bashing a button and then being like, yeah, I've done enough crit damage to win or something.
Right.
You know? But that game, I've started noticing. I think this was definitely after because we talked about the AI. I really have noticed how bad the AI in that game is.
That archer behavior sounds pretty.
No, that stuff is good. Like their combat AI is pretty sweet. But but
So it's always combat AI.
it is always combat. But they're like real world, like what would you call it? Like standard NPC civilian villager AI is just bog standard. Like
wandering a path.
Yeah,
back and
wandering a
forth.
path. You can watch the person do the same thing over and over and over,
Right.
and like there was this one of the very first quests you get is to basically go and collect a debt from this dude, and you go in there and you talk to him and he's like, I'm not giving you this bloody debt, blah 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 blah, and you can. I ended up having to fight the guy, got wasted. But then I'm like, I still, the quest was still active to like go in and get it. I didn't fail the quest; it was still running.
Yeah.
So I knew he probably had something in his house. So I was just like, basically standing, like right outside his house, watching him walking back and forth, and then I just go up to his front door and like, when he's like round a corner, go in there, find the stuff, walk out. But as I'm walking out, he sees me coming out of the house.
Yeah.
But he doesn't register that, and he's just like, what are you doing here? And walks by.
Yeah.
As if like I'd done nothing, as if I hadn't walked out of his house just then.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I didn't, I guess because I didn't trigger whatever alert. Like,
Right.
I'm sure like if I was in his
he
house
didn't
with
see
him.
you take it, and
Yeah.
the behavior he has is the player around.
Yeah.
Not like where is the player in relation to
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
my things I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's in like, Skyrim and
Yeah.
lots of other things, but I think it was because of that GDC talk about AI that I actually have been paying attention to
You're
it.
noticing, oh yeah,
Yeah.
nothing actually behaves
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
it should.
And there are times when like there was a point where you meet this like lord of this like this village, and he's like a big deal, and you have this like whole cutscene with him and stuff like that. And then like later on, you just see him wandering around the town, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy. I wonder if I can like go and talk to him. And he just there's no interaction option. He just like walks straight by. Like I feel
Typical.
just gave me the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Just like fully just doesn't acknowledge me as a anything.
Yeah.
Even though I'm supposed to be like this new guy under his like service.
Oh, right. Go.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it does this is like a minor thing, but something that video games I always notice is that it does the old when characters want to hand something to someone.
Yep.
It's always they gesture under like so that their hands are below the camera, so you cannot see that anything is being passed across. And sometimes it's something like a shield, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Here, take this," and they just sort of gesture below the camera and then move their hand around as if they're putting something in a back pocket. I'm like, that's a shield you just put in your back pocket. How did you do that?
It folds up. Did you ever play Mountain Blade?
No, it's been suggested to me a couple of times. I think you've suggested that
Yeah.
I should play that.
I mean, look, I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance, and given that this is 2018 and Mountain Blade came out in like 2011.
Yeah, it's a bummer that they've not done a newer one. I thought.
Yeah, well, I
thought
think
they would have.
they might have. I think that company might have broken up. I'm
Ah.
not positive. I should look into it. But I assume that Kingdom Come Deliverance is probably better than Mountain Blade at this point. But Mountain Blade, specifically, Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword, I think it
Yeah.
was, is based on a historical novel. I think with like, I mean, it's got real world locations
Yeah.
and I think real world figures in it, and you basically are like roaming around Eastern Europe,
Yep.
trying to conquer cities and
Yeah.
stuff. So you'd probably get a kick out of it, but it's
Yeah.
also got a lot of the silly AI and
Yeah. Well, it would. I mean, that's just when it was made, right? It's quite
not
old.
just that. It was very low budget.
Oh, okay.
Like the team that made it, they also put the emphasis on the combat,
Yep.
which is quite good,
Yeah.
and like the sort of economic things, which are quite interesting as well. But there's and honestly, those games have quite a lot of cool features buried in them, but they look terrible. They don't play super well.
Yeah.
In some situations, and they're very hard to get into. Like there's a big learning curve, but I think you could probably get some enjoyment out of it.
That's more like giant armies, right?
Eventually, but
Yeah.
you're only ever playing as one character.
Yeah.
But
But everything I always thought Mountain Blade was like you were commanding an army and you were fighting as a guy in your army.
If it does get to that point,
Yeah.
if you're good, yeah.
Okay, but
Um,
it's not that from the start.
No, it literally is you by yourself from the start.
Oh wow,
Um,
I actually didn't know that.
And it's really interesting because you start off by yourself. You've got like some real basic possessions and
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of gold,
Mm,
and it's like, okay, now you're in the world.
that's cool.
Go do something, and then you're like, okay, I'll go to this town. Oh shit, bandits are chasing me around the world
Yeah.
because I'm by myself, and there's just bandits camped outside this town.
Oh wow.
And like, oh, okay, well, I like before you ever even get to recruit anybody or buy weapons or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I get into a fight and I get beaten and they take all my money.
Oh shit.
It's just like, the
but
game is-
you don't die.
no. I mean, I think when you die, you basically just lose some stuff. If I recall.
Yep.
But those games are very fun.
Yep.
Once you get past some of the grossness.
I
of it.
do quite like games that don't ease you into it.
Yeah, these
Like
games
just
really don't.
chuck you in the deep end and be like you said, like, all right, you're a guy in the world, go at it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I liked about Dark Souls was just like you're a guy, you're in this weird world, have at it.
It's what I love, especially about Mountain Blade, is you play for a while, and only after you've really sort of gotten a grasp of the basic mechanics does the actual depth of the game start to reveal itself,
Ah, cool.
and you go, oh, okay, so like I swore fealty to this nation or whatever,
Ah,
and so like I can travel amongst these nations, and now I've got I'm enemies with this other nation
Yeah.
because of the politics or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can actually leave this nation and just start my own
oh
And,
wow,
like,
what?
and start recruiting my
You
own
become a
army.
rebel.
Yeah, and I can just like, oh, it turns out I can start conquering castles with a big enough
What?
army. Like,
Oh my god.
oh,
Yeah, that sounds.
I can
pretty
start
crazy.
like bribing people with fiefdoms. I can take this village and then try and offer it to someone
Oh, man.
in exchange for peace. It's like there's just tons of stuff you can
Yeah.
start doing.
Dude, this game sounds like like my jam.
Yeah, you should
This
play it.
sounds great.
That's what I'm saying. It's actually
Yeah.
it's super fun.
Oh man, there's got to be mods to make it look nice.
I'm sure there are. Yeah,
Like,
it's actually one of the more heavily modded games out
Okay,
there.
that's what would put me off. Is just like
Oh,
sometimes
it
I think
looks
about
it just looks terrible.
sometimes I think about like playing through Morrowind again, and then I'm just like, man, I don't think I can get past those graphics anymore.
I would love a modern day
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls with levitation. That's all I care about.
right.
Morrowind was I think my favorite Elder Scrolls game specifically because of the presence of levitation.
Yep.
Levitation meant that any dungeon and any area in the world could have secrets hidden in unexpected places.
Mm.
When you play like Oblivion and Skyrim, even like the cool secrets you find in dungeons are kind of like you can just see them.
Yeah.
But in Morrowind, you find a dungeon and you think you've explored everything, and then your friend's like, "Oh, did you try levitating up to the top of that tower?" And you're like, "What?" And then you go back there, and there's like a whole set of glass armor
Yeah.
and some books and like this note from a
Yeah.
guy, the mage who accidentally levitated up there and couldn't get back down, and you see the skeleton, and you're
Oh,
like,
man.
"What? This is amazing!" Levitation made that game so good.
Wait, would glass armor be very effective in battle?
Have you never played
Never.
Elder Scrolls?
Never.
Okay.
Dude, glass armor is pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Shut
it's
up.
like
No way. Glass
it's
armor's
like
the best.
It's like one of the top armors.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It sort of makes sense in context, sort of, but also not really.
How? Is it magic glass? Like what is it? It's
It's-
elven
it's-
made or something. So
it's
therefore
light
it's like
armor.
different.
Is it light?
It's considered light armor.
Yeah?
So, yeah. So you've got your like plate armor and Daedric armor, and in Skyrim you've got like dragonbone armor,
Mm.
and those are all heavy. And then I think you've got medium armors in Elder Scrolls.
Mm.
Were they in Oblivion, or is it just?
I don't remember
Morrowind.
medium armor. They
Yeah.
might have been. I don't
Pretty sure there's medium armor, and then you've got light armor,
Mm.
which is like glass is one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe leather is light. I don't really
I don't
remember.
remember.
But
Feels light.
It was heavy armor all the time.
but really, if you've ever tried picking up a lot of glass,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Stuff's
heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also shatters
Mm-hmm.
what I always like
very easily.
in unarmed in Morrowind, you could wear robes and it would be considered unarmored,
Huh.
and so you could get robes and enchant them with like fortified defense
Oh.
and like give yourself a ton of armor and
Yeah.
you'd be considered unarmored still. Cool game.
Yeah. Morrowind was pretty great. Yeah. But yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance, enjoying it. Yeah, I like it so far. It
That's good.
definitely like it seems like a very, very, very big game.
Mm.
Like, I still feel like I've been playing it for, got maybe like 6 hours so far, and I've gone through the sort of the tutorial section, which is like the first hour, which I didn't even realize. And actually, this was a talk at NZ GDC that we just went to. Was I saw a talk about like trying to integrate tutorials into your actual game instead of it being like, here's this cut off section that you have to get through before you can play the game.
Right.
But like, yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance just like starts you out with like a little bit of ability at a time. Like I was saying, when I got into this fist fight with this dude, I hadn't picked up a sword. That was like the first time I fought, and so it was just like a non-lethal way of like getting used to how their combat works. And then like sneaking around to get into this guy's house and stuff like that. It's slowly like teaches you these things. And I thought I was just playing the game, and then like after like about an hour, suddenly the credits, they're not the credits, the title like comes up, and I was like, oh, now I'm starting to play the game. Like and yeah, I think that was like a pretty sweet like tutorial section, like without even knowing it was a tutorial
So
section.
did you learn a bunch of stuff in it?
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Let's talk about GDC.
yep.
You just mentioned it. It was yesterday, the day before. I missed half of one of the days because I was busy with stuff. Did you guys go for both days?
Yeah,
All of both days?
I skipped out before the end of the last day.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Friday.
yesterday. Yeah. Because that keynote, the ending keynote, is so long,
Yeah, I quite liked the end.
and I was like, we should go to the after party early.
Oh, was
the
that
after
the
party
plan?
that doesn't start until 7.
Well, we should go for a pre-after party.
Okay. The
Before-
during party
Yeah.
is it's
The before the after party.
Yeah, it was we had our own before the after party party.
okay.
Yeah.
So what did you guys see that you really enjoyed?
I enjoyed 2 talks. There was one about Tencent. Well, that Tencent gave, and it was the state of China's gaming industry.
Yeah.
And
What did you like about it?
Man, just seeing what was up, like what was popular out there, and just really how Tencent owns everything.
Yeah, that was there was a lot of that.
It's kind of scary, man. Shit, there are like 2 streaming websites in China, like your Twitch. You know? And they pretty much run them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And they're starting their own like Steam equivalent in China.
Oh yeah, Wii game or something.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, aren't they going to try and move that to the outside of China?
I heard
I
that.
think
Probably.
are they? When you say they're just starting it, I feel like that might have actually been around for a while.
It
in
might have
China,
been.
and they're just
I
trying to
don't
put
know.
it
They
out.
made it sound like it was still early days.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it might be.
Like maybe it has been around for like a year or two, and their perception of early days is just a couple of years.
Skewed.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, they've got crazy numbers. Monster Hunter's not even out. They've got 1 million pre-orders on their Wii game thing already for it. And like it sounds like some Western games are getting into China. You
Okay.
mentioned Assassin's Creed and Grand Theft Auto.
Path of Exile.
Yeah, for sure. He didn't actually like talk about Path of Exile.
Really?
He did
Yeah.
mention Grinding Gear Games though.
Yeah, he did, and how they've invested in, brought a lot of Grinding Gear and Rocket Works. They don't have like an office here, which is weird.
Yeah.
I thought that was really
in
weird.
Australia either. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that would be a Australasian office at least somewhere.
yeah.
I mean, they have it in China, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
they
guess-
have. I mean, they have like they did say that they've got offices like in North America and all over the place.
In Europe. yeah.
Sure. Yeah, in
You
the
know.
huge
Yeah.
international markets.
Yep.
Well, so weird that they would have a office in the country with 400 million people, not the country with 4 million people.
Yeah. What else?
Sorry.
What was shocking was
Blake's just shaking his head for our listeners. He's just shaking his head angrily. Sorry, go ahead.
they've got shit. Yeah. So MOBAs are huge.
Yeah.
Like mobile MOBAs are huge in China, and
Interesting.
and the female gamer audience is larger than the male one, which is kind of
What?
cool to hear. Yeah.
Huh.
Like
Yeah.
60% of that market is female dominated,
Wow.
which is really cool.
I always wonder about that because I've heard this about Korea as well,
Mm.
and I always wonder why. Like, is it just like a weird cultural thing that in the West there's this like
I think
perceived
it is.
thing that it's only for loser
nerds,
nerds
right?
in a basement, you
Yeah.
know? And in those other countries that just doesn't exist. So everyone, it's just assumed that games are for everyone. Like it's just
Possible. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
So, I mean, Korea has had gaming in the mass media for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
um,
They
I
have
mean-
like esports athletes on billboards and
there was it like a year ago or 2 years ago where ESPN, like one of the ESPN channels aired the Dota finals or something, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
League of Legends finals,
yeah.
and there was like big backlash, like,
Yeah.
where is this? Get this off my sports channel. Oh, this isn't sports.
yeah.
And
This
it's
ain't
just-
football.
Yeah. And this is like the channel that has like bowling on it or
Yeah,
whatever.
darts.
It's like, it's like, okay, guys,
Yeah.
it's not
But it's
much
like
of a stretch.
They're seeing it as a sport that will make them money, so they're
Yes.
putting it on there, you
Yeah.
know?
And I mean,
They
they
don't
are,
care if what is quote unquote a sport.
yeah.
Like
Well, also, what is like what really is the definition of a sport? Is it just anything with physical activity? Is it just
it's just anything that people are willing to watch in a stadium.
Is it
That's my
like a competition of hobbies? Like, I don't know. But I feel like gaming does qualify
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah.
So
the other talk was the Ashen talk. You were there too, Blake.
The concept art one.
Yeah, building the open world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
How
really
was that?
cool.
Dude, that game looks so good.
mm.
And yeah, there's a lot of just cool art, really.
How
And
big
just
is
a
that team?
fantastic presentation. What's that?
How big is the team for Ashen?
I think 30, he said.
I think he said 50.
Fuck, yeah. All right.
It might have been because I think he said he'd joined 4 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe.
Did he say that?
Did he?
No.
This is their
no.
first game, right?
That guy. No, not 4 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that guy join?
He was at Mechanic Animation.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah.
I think he's been in the industry for 4 years and working
Oh,
on
okay.
Ashen for 2.
Oh, yeah. I think that might be what he said then.
Yeah.
I remember 4 years was in there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, but
A
Yeah.
good mate of mine used to work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool.
it looks real cool and like everyone's excited for this game. A lot of like devs are really excited for this game.
Fuck yeah.
I find like I've mentioned Ashen to some of my like gaming friends, and they're just like, "What is that? I don't know what this
What?
is." But like any Kiwi game developers, like, "Oh yeah, man, Ashen, we're like looking forward to this coming out."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the very few like
Kiwi games,
huh?
Kiwi games.
Not well, specifically Kiwi like hardcore gamer games.
Mm.
Like there aren't at this point in New Zealand. There's Path of Exile, and I don't know what Rocketworks is working on, but I would assume they're probably working on something for a core gaming audience, and then Ashen, right? And then the rest of it tends to be for mobile,
Yeah.
and is focused on like casual and short bursts of monetized fun. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that people are stoked for that because it's what we want to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Ashen game may be my gateway into the Dark Soulsies
Oh yeah.
type games. Yeah.
Huge influence from Dark Souls.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
We went to. Did you see? They also had a animation talk the day before, I think. For
Oh
Ashen.
yeah. Sam, whatever. his
Yeah,
name
and
is.
I was like looking forward to seeing some like Ashen, footage.
Yep.
But they just showed Dark Souls footage because it was really more about like just because the games are so similar. They sort of took a lot of reference from Dark Souls and how
Yeah.
they did certain animations and
telegraphing.
yeah,
all that
telegraphing
shit.
their animations and things like that, and just he was just being like, "This is like fantastic. Like, look at this. You can clearly see the weight behind the sword. You can,
Did you ask him about the egg?
No.
Did you ask him about the crouching?
no, No.
Should have.
I mean, that's anticipation.
You should have
That's
said,
a principle of
"Excuse me."
animation.
Excuse me. Will there be a fight where you have to crouch for 30 seconds? And he'll be like,
Be like, you play Dark Souls.
Dear.
Nick, did you see any good talks?
Yeah. I saw fewer talks than you guys,
Mhm.
but there was a talk I really enjoyed yesterday
Mm-hmm.
about entangling players in your game. Basically, like, how do you immerse a player, and what types of there are many different kinds of immersion, and how do you go about taking advantage of these various types of immersion?
Okay.
So, there's like things. A very simple example of it is, the viewing angle, right? A top down versus first person will change how immersed a player is, right? That's a very simple one. But then, like, the impact of a story, or the impact of a character who with dialogue that you identify with, or like the impact of just curiosity, giving a player something that they think about outside of the game, which is, I think, something that Path of Exile really excels at. Giving players something to think about when they're not playing the game.
Yeah.
They're still immersed in the game, right? They're still thinking about, the mechanics, the items, the gear, like the skills. So that was a really interesting talk. Path of Exile succeeds on a bunch of the different fronts, but does not succeed on a bunch of other ones. And so it's just interesting to hear her thoughts on what constitutes a good immersive experience. And she has she just did her master's in anthropology, so she knows her stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just a good talk, well presented, and she just knew what she was talking about. So
Did she talk about VR?
she didn't. I don't think. I mean, she did a little
get outta here.
bit, but like that wasn't really the point of it. It wasn't like
That kind of immersion?
Yeah, no, it was more about like what are some of the techniques that game developers can use and have used to immerse.
Okay. Good visuals. You know what I mean?
She did talk about good visuals. In fact, she said something that made me think specifically of you, Severn.
Yes.
She said something like, for some players, good graphics may be the only thing they care about.
Yeah. Yeah. Nailed it.
And they may, if it's beautiful, they may just say, this is my favorite game ever. And I was like, yeah, that's Severn.
Yeah. But it's you too, Nick. When you look at Zelda,
Yeah,
you see that as beautiful.
I do see that as beautiful, but that's not why I love that game.
No, but you get the same thing as well. Don't pretend it's only me.
Well, so she used Zelda as an example in one of the parts as well, which was like, she said that one of the design tenets for Zelda was they wanted you to be able to smell the world, which sounds sounds really weird, right?
Is that what they actually wanted to pull off?
They wanted to basically provide enough sensory stimuli in the world that your other senses start to fill in the gaps, right? Which I think is like a very cool goal. And obviously you can't literally smell the grass in Zelda, but you do sort of get a sense of the world in ways that I've never had a sense of the world in other games the way I have in Zelda. Like the way Link walks through the grass and, the way birds fly through the sky and land.
And it's the background music as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's all working to give you this one feeling.
Yeah, and really bring you into that world. So I sort of get what they were going for when they say they want the players to smell the world, because you walk into a village where someone's roasting something on a pot, you kind of go, ooh, you know?
Yeah.
I do get that, and I think a lot of that. I mean, I think a lot of that is sound.
Sound is a big part, yeah.
Like, because
the crunch of grass under the foot can really make a big difference.
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
walking through a puddle.
Like, you could almost, like, I'm sure I've played games that had like very stylized. I mean, this is Zelda, I guess. It's very stylized, but the sound of footsteps or something like that really makes you feel the world.
Yeah, it gives it makes it feel quite kinetic. Every action feels impactful, even if it's just walking.
Yeah.
Also, Zelda, on that topic, I finished the DLC,
Oh,
which I had been slowly chipping away
Is
at.
this the motorbike DLC?
Yeah,
you've now got a motorbike,
got a
right?
You got a
motorbike,
motorbike?
a unicorn
Yeah.
motorcycle, and it's super cool. I love it.
When are they getting cars, man?
I don't
Carjacking.
know. They may
Carjacking? Yep. When is it going to be a city and 3 protagonists?
When are
When
they?
are these trolls gonna? When's technology gonna advance to where they have cars?
When's Nintendo going to catch up to what Rockstar was like? What 5 years ago?
Shit, they came out with cars, man. They launched with cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that DLC was great.
Yeah. Any
It-
other talks?
I mean, I watched some of the Path of Exile ones. There were only 2 of them.
Oh, actually, I didn't catch any.
Yeah,
of
me
them.
neither.
We went to, because I know Dan, one of the level designers. I was kind of keen to see his.
Yeah, I
but
saw his.
It happened at the same time as one of the Ashen ones. So
Yeah, get out of here.
yeah,
I want to hear
mean,
about Ashen.
yeah,
So you said, "Screw you, Dan."
yep. I just shouted that as I saw it on my
then
schedule, and yeah.
You shouted it, and then he didn't hear you, so you emailed him.
No, Dan, he was in front of me when I said that.
Yeah, I went to his talk. It was good.
Yeah.
Both of them were good. Yeah. He talked about his talk was about the ossuary tile
Yeah.
set, which I felt a special connection to because
Right.
that was I'm gonna go ahead and claim ownership of the creation of that thing because although I didn't actually work on it,
Yeah, I was
really
just gonna
at
say, you know,
all,
I made those tiles,
Yeah,
right?
but I was the one who I said to Eric, this was like years ago.
Yeah.
When we were planning Act 5
hmm
and there wasn't an Act 6 through 10.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, we have a lot of skeleton assets of different
Yeah.
kinds.
Mm.
Let's have an ossuary area in Oriath because first of all, it's a small island
hmm
with a busy city. They would probably have an ossuary, and second of all, we can just reuse all our skeleton assets.
Yep.
And
And you were
then-
like, you know who's gonna love this? The person who has to make the censored version also.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yes.
censored China version.
yes.
It was funny that I was just thinking because yeah, I think players know, right, that we were like doing the China version at the same time as doing the Act 5 and that release, and they came out almost at the same time. But like we were starting to like do the conversion, and I remember Eric coming up to me and being like, "All right, in future." You got to like keep in mind that any like skeletons or bones in there, they're gonna need a China version. So you might want to make it easier to edit those things out in any future stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, the next dungeon, it's all skeletons.
yeah. Chandeliers.
Yeah. We want furniture
Table
made out of
ornaments, yeah, yeah.
skeletons. The floor is made out of skeletons.
Yep.
Um.
And then we had Abyss League.
Yeah. It's just.
It's good stuff.
Oh, dear. Yep. All right. Well, we've got a bunch of. I won't say they're questions, but we've got a lot of emails.
We've
here.
got letters.
Yeah. Was that what we're calling them
Keep
now?
calling them letters.
We
I
do.
listen to too many other podcasts that are like, we got letters.
What pod? Are you sure you're not thinking of like an old timey radio?
Yeah, a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. These are quite long. I'm probably not going to read them out, but we appreciate hearing from people all the time. If you want to email us, we'll probably answer you directly if your question's too long. Otherwise, we'll answer you on the podcast. You can email us frontseatquestions@gmail.com or tweet at us at frontseatcast. Facebook.com/frontseatcast is our Facebook page. You can contact us on there. Frontseatgamer.wordpress.com is our WordPress site. YouTube.com/frontseatcast is our YouTube site, and apparently we're twitching now.
Yo.
Twitching
Yo.
like a roach on the kitchen floor.
Mhm.
Twitch.tv/frontseatcast. You can see Severn playing games sometimes.
And maybe Nick and Blake
Yep.
at some point.
At some point.
Whenever the hell you get hardware.
I got a computer.
You got a webcam, bro?
Yeah, actually I do.
Oh, dude, you're ready. Maybe you'll see Nick.
Probably not though.
What?
We'll see. You should rate us on iTunes and tell your friends. How much time have we got left?
Plenty.
Why don't we read out one email? This is from Mark. I don't know.
Oh, wait, I think we might have already mentioned some of it
Oh.
last year.
Blake,
last
come
time.
on, man.
Well then, no emails,
But no, go for it. Actually,
Okay.
we only mentioned a little bit of it.
Hello, Blake.
Hi, Mark.
Which kind of socks are the best and why? Personally, I love my hand-knitted wool socks, like the ones you see at Christmas in American movies. To Sav, thanks for the stream. I ran out of data, so I wasn't able to say bye.
Oh yeah.
Are you planning on streaming around that time in the future? In that case, I'd love if you could announce the streams a bit ahead of time,
We've
so I
doubled
know
up.
when it's time to mess up my sleep.
Blake, you done fuck. You missed.
Well,
up.
I did say that
You
we've
goofed?
like read some of this
Do we?
Yeah.
in relation to the Twitch stuff,
Damn it! Why would you?
but
leave
not the
it in
sock
there?
stuff.
Yeah.
It would be loads of fun to watch you guys play co-op games like Battle Block Theater or Keep Talking and No One Explodes on stream as well.
That actually would be cool.
That would be
You
fun.
know, keep talking, no one explodes. Right?
I do know it. I've never played it.
I've never played it either.
Oh.
You should play it.
That would definitely be fun.
Cool. I'm down to do that. So, Blake, socks. Explain.
Well, if you'd listened to,
Hey, that's not going to happen.
there was a part in one of the last podcasts where it got into like something about Christmas presents and how what was it that you get socks for a present, and then as you get older, and when you're younger, you hate socks as a Christmas present, but as you get older, you're
love
like,
'em.
oh man, a good pair of socks is
Yeah.
pretty great. And that's got into a conversation where my dad, every time I meet him, he's always asking like how my socks are, and he always recommends these like massive woolly like weird workman socks.
Okay.
And they're pretty great. I don't remember what the brand is, but it's definitely a Kiwi brand though. It's like New Zealand wool something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where are you
Yeah.
on socks?
Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear them all the time.
Huh?
I wear socks all the time.
Yeah, me too. I wear them like when I get home. I will often take my shoes off immediately and keep my socks on until like right before bed.
Wow.
And then I realize how itchy my feet are afterwards.
Yep.
What do you think of socks in bed?
No.
No,
Yeah,
not down with
neither.
that. Unless they are specifically bed socks. Like if
I've never heard of this.
well, like okay, so I've got some socks that are like alpaca wool, and they're like super thick, and you don't wear them in your shoes. You
Yeah.
wear them like because they keep your feet really warm.
Yeah, but isn't the thing with not wearing socks in your bed is so you can regulate your temperature? One foot out of the covers, 1 foot in. Perfect. If you got socks, you're gonna overheat.
What?
You're gonna have a heating problem.
You got blankets on.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
learn to manage your blankets like a grown up. That's how I feel.
No, everyone knows this.
No.
1 foot out of the covers.
All right.
1 foot in, and it's the perfect temperature.
No, real talk.
Listeners,
hang on.
write in. Like this is absolutely a known thing.
Okay, yeah, I want you. If you're listening, tell us what you think about Blake's insane ramblings.
This is a known thing that everyone knows it does.
Real talk.
You're telling me you don't sleep like that?
No,
What? What is happening?
because I know how to manage my sheets like a grown up.
I manage them.
No, here, okay, real talk. Real talk. Do you tuck your sheets in?
Nah.
Ugh,
I got a duvet. That's it.
monster. Wait, what do you mean you've got a duvet?
I just got a
that's it?
duvet.
You don't have sheets?
I got sheets on the mattress, but not like
So you've got your bed sheet,
Yeah.
like your fitted sheet,
yeah.
and then you've just got your duvet,
Yeah.
and there's no like nothing between the bed sheet and the duvet.
The top sheet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
a blanket.
I got a top sheet.
What do you?
Dude, I don't have a top sheet.
How do you? What? Savages! You savages!
I used to have a top sheet, but then I was like, why am I even bothering with this? Because
Yeah.
it just
It's too much
ends
work.
up- yeah.
So this is why you've got your stupid foot problem, because you're just like you've got a binary bed. You've got it like
Binary
you've got it
bed.
in winter mode and I'm freezing to death mode. Like
No,
this is-
my summer mode is I take that duvet off and I get the top sheet and just have that instead because it's quite hot. But even then,
so then you're just lying on the mattress.
No, I've got another. I'm sleeping under a sheet.
Okay, so there is there is a sheet.
I do own
Okay.
more than one sheet.
Okay, all right. So
Like,
you don't know how to manage your sheets, is what you're saying. That's the
I
the
do know
main,
how to
No,
manage
you
them.
clearly don't. Oh God, damn it, Blake. No,
listeners, write in
and
and tell Nick.
tell me
that
what
he's
your
a
bed
weirdo.
situation is, because we need to get this sorted out. This is nightmarish. I'm very particular about my sleeping arrangements. I
Yeah?
need, first of all, you got your fitted sheet, and then you've got a sheet that you sleep like under,
Yeah.
and then you in winter you may want to add a blanket between the sheet and the duvet / quilt, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we've got a big like faux sheepskin thing on top of our quilt
Jeez,
instead of.
So hot. You need 1
But-
foot out.
But you know what I don't have? I don't have an electric blanket. I
Yeah.
don't have like a hot water bottle. I
Yeah.
just get in bed, and in about 5 or 10 minutes, it's toasty as heck in there. And you know what? I tuck my sheets in so the heat stays trapped.
Oh, that stresses me out.
Yeah, I know.
You're too
my,
restrained.
my wife.
It's like a straitjacket.
This is
You got
my.
I'm a thrasher. That's my problem. See, I used to. This is also why I don't have a sheet, is because I did used to have one, but it would end up like in a tangled mess because I'm like thrashing around at night.
Get your bed in order, Blake. Get your life in order. It's as upsetting. I have yeah, I've got strong opinions about that.
God, why would
You
it's
don't,
like
you
it's
don't
like
deserve
you're tying
love.
yourself down.
You don't deserve
for the
love
night.
if that's how you treat your bed. All right, we're out of time. We want to hear from you, not just about bedsheet stuff, but in particular this time, yes, just bedsheet stuff. So tweet at us at Front Seat Cast. And
I'll put
other
up a
stuff.
photo of the socks that I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious now. I want to thank Leanne for our logo. That's leannebouton.tumblr.com, and Andrew for our music. Notfornothing.com. Good stuff, and we'll be back.
We might
Next-
have some special episodes. In
Yeah,
the works.
we're discussing doing some more Dungeons and Dragons stuff,
Mhm.
but also we've been discussing a food cast for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna happen.
We've had several people over the years be like, "Yes, do a food cast."
Yeah,
That
we're
would be
doing
great.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a dope ass meal. We're gonna pay way too much for it. We're gonna be very poor afterwards, but we are gonna be very full afterwards.
So we go into this fine dining restaurant,
Yeah.
massive plates, small portions.
Mm-hmm.
Are they okay with people taking photos of their food?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's
They're
like
not-
the Instagram age.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
of
know,
course.
but it's because it's like a fine dining place. Wouldn't they be like, "Ugh, look at these"?
I'm sure
We
there will be.
Because it's fine dining, they have to treat you well. They're not gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Excuse me, sir, put your phone away."
Yeah,
They're gonna be like, "Are you
you're-
enjoying your
you're-
meal?" And you'll be like, "Yeah." In fact, if it's anything like the last places I've been to, you're gonna get treated so well. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you end up tipping at those places?
Yeah, I think you can. I don't remember if we did.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
I'm not
you
gonna.
can tip
it's
whenever, but I way I see it, if it's really expensive,
the tip is
that-
built in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tip is built in. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Kind of gotta agree.
unless someone really goes out of their way and they're like, you know, this is for you.
I've had that. Still haven't tipped.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I think we tipped. I mentioned this before the podcast. We went while in Cambodia. We went on fine dining.
Yeah.
This amazing restaurant called Embassy. If you are ever in Siem Reap in Cambodia, go to Embassy. It is so good. Anyway, they gave us a after we said we loved the dessert in our like 6-course meal or whatever it was. They gave us another dessert for free.
Oh,
So we tipped them
nice.
because that is worthy of a tip.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. You just paid for that the dessert, really.
Yeah, basically. But because I mean, we not even then we do the tip doesn't I think cover that anyway.
I get the feeling people are like, "What the hell? These guys don't tip."
Yep.
Tipping's not a goddamn thing here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're outside of New Zealand, I mean, really only the U.S. is like the main place I can think of that
Yeah, it
really has
kind of
tipping
is.
everywhere. Tipping is not expected or and even wanted. We ordered something from Uber Eats the other night, and I tried to tip the guy a couple of coins, and he wouldn't accept it.
Whoa.
He said, "I don't want it."
So, I want your hush money.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." So yeah, we just
Because it's
don't tip
almost
in
like
this country.
it's almost like an insult, I think, to maybe some people who are like, "Excuse, no, I get paid enough here." Like, you trying to tip me as saying like I look poor or something?
if
You think so?
if you're listening and you want to tip
I
us,
think
by
there
the
are
way,
definitely people that have that attitude. I think there's definitely people that have that attitude. Like, it sounds like your Uber driver was like, "No, don't. I don't need your charity here.
Yeah, it's silly. I don't know why he would do that because money is money. I want money. Just, if you're listening, send me some money.
I want money.
I want money. We need to pay for this meal somehow. All right. No. Anyway. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Love you. Bye.
All your future league stuff is going to be leaked now to my contact at Pack and Save.
Oh shit.
Are you the leaker?
No, I don't talk to people in Pack and Save. Are you crazy?
I've been to Pack and Save fairly regularly, but I've never had anybody comment, and I've wore those shirts all the time. No one's ever commented.
Do you go through the self checkout?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Oh, is he a checkout guy?
Who is this person?
Oh, I don't know
Do you
who it
who
is, but like I go through the self checkout all the time, and you never speak to anyone, and
No.
nobody think. But if you're in the checkout, maybe there's someone there that's like,
Big fan.
yeah. I mean, that's the only human interaction you would get, really.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you not hear about this?
I heard about it. Who's the dude?
I have
No.
no idea.
Who's the Pack and Save guy?
I don't know.
That was my
It's just some guys just like
What's the
you know
goss, bro?
you saw that you heard the story when Chris walks in there and he's like, there's some Pack
Who
and
told
Save
you
dude.
this?
It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, oh man, so looking forward to Incursion League. It's gonna be like, wait, what? This
Yeah.
hasn't been announced yet. How do you know all this stuff?
Yeah, that's sketchy as hell.
Someone just like info dumped hard on this guy.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because having worked in the press, leaks are so bad. Like, you shouldn't. People just need to know to not
Yeah.
tell people shit. Although, to be fair, I did tell the people during the voice acting. I was explaining what the leak mechanic was.
Yeah, but they're like
People
people
are-
that you're working with.
Yeah, they are. They risk not
Mm.
being employed by us anymore if they
Yeah.
talk. So
You explained them like you told them that?
oh
Okay.
no, but they know. Like, they know.
You were
that
like, you
they-
shouldn't tweet about this shit.
Yeah, I said you guys can't talk about this, but here's what
They're like professionals. They'd be used to doing that sort of thing, right?
Well,
Yeah, they
you
work
say
on
that,
films and
but
TV.
fucking
People
like
still do it.
like actors have famously done it in the
Yeah.
past. I'm sure like contracts now are written to, like,
People
to take that into
Yeah.
consideration.
People accidentally say stuff all the time. Like I was watching this interview before Avengers came out, and the guy that plays the Hulk, like they just started talking about like, who's
Ruffalo?
gonna die? Yeah, and like speculating, and he just out of nowhere is like, oh man, this one's crazy. Everybody dies. And
In advance of
But
what
that
though?
could be a
Avengers.
offhanded that could be offhanded goof.
I mean, it could
Kind
be,
of
but
stuff,
you're
right?
just like,
Joking around.
what?
Yeah, but was he playing it that way? Like,
He was
Just
playing
trying to
it
make
like
a-
he'd accidentally said something, and then he looked to like who's the other guy that plays like War Machine, and he's like, "That's all right to say, right?" or something. And he's like,
Fuck,
"No,"
fuck, all right.
and then he's
I-
like,
I
"Oh no," and then he's like, "Well, not everybody dies." And I was like, "Come on, man."
I might have just been goofing.
Yeah.
There was a very famous. I forget who the voice actress was, but it was like the first Assassin's Creed. None of the promotional materials had revealed that it was
Oh, yeah.
a simulation,
Yeah.
and then like a voice actress spoiled that.
Oh shit. I have heard things of voice actors saying stuff because they work on like so many things, and if they worked on something a year ago that it's still not out, they might just say stuff because they forgot.
Yeah,
You know,
I forgot that it's not out yet.
forgot that it's not out yet.
Yeah.
And they just start talking about it.